Denying the biggest authority figure in your life is the key to self-realization, to becoming who you actually need to be. Because denying the biggest authority figure in your life, it's usually your parents when you're young. If you can do that, you can deny anyone. You can disagree with anyone and be okay that people don't see you the way that you want them to see you. And I think that it took me a long time to realize this, and I didn't realize that I did it when I was young. And so just from someone who stood up to their parents at a young age, it changed everything for me, because I knew, I'm like, well, if my own parents, if I can look at them and just disagree with them and say I'm going to do this anyway, and it still worked out, I can pretty much guarantee that everyone else is going to be okay too if I don't live my life to make them happy. And so I think me not living my life to please other people has given me exactly what I wanted. And now that I'm here, I'll be honest with you, people want you to, say, oh wow, it's not worth it, and I shouldn't have spent all this time doing these things, and they want me to say that I feel empty and it wasn't worth it and all these things like that, but it's just not true. I'm very happy with what I've done. I'm very happy with the time I've spent and the life that I've built. And so I want to share with you a quick story though of this whole self-realization thing, denying my parents, and basically what I went through. So maybe you will relate to this, and if you haven't done this, maybe it's time for you to do this. So very simply, my parents didn't agree with me that I should be running my own business, building my own business when I was in high school. And so I decided that I was going to do this, and I did it. I went, behind their back as much as I had to do it. And when it started working, I saw potential in it, and I wanted to go all in. And they told me for years, first few years, like, this is just a hobby, this is a side hustle, you're not able to make any money doing this isn't a job, all these things. And so, like, you need to go to college, you need to get a real job, this isn't going to work. And so I was very much set on not going to college, especially when I spoke with people who were doing exactly what I wanted to do. They were like professional videographers and filmmakers and things like that. They talked to me, like, I talked to them, and they basically told me, they're like, oh yeah, you're this good at this age already? You're good, man, you don't need college. So I trusted those people who were making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing what I wanted to do. I trusted them. And so when it came down to it, my parents kept telling me I need to go to college over and over again. And I eventually, I kept telling them, no, I'm not going to do it. And I would fight them. I loved to argue as a kid. And at one point, I remember I was at a lunch or a dinner with them and my girlfriend of the time, ex-girlfriend now. And I said to them, they were talking to me about college, and I just looked at them dead in the eye. I said, how many videos have you made? Just looked at them in the eye and said, how many videos have you made? Looked at them both in the eye and said, how many? I'm like, none. It's like, oh, you've made zero? You made zero? How much money have you made making videos? And they were just kind of silent. And I looked at them and I said, if I want advice on how to become a firefighter or a nurse, I will ask you, but you have never done this. I am going to do this because every person who's actively doing this believes that I can do it, and they're making more money than both of you are. So if I need your advice, I will ask. But until then, I don't want to hear your opinion about this. I was 19 years old, maybe 18 actually, I don't even know, probably 19. And that might sound pretty harsh, right? I think it could have been said with a little bit more grace and a little bit softer, for sure, but I was an angsty 19-year-old. You're probably like, wow, my parents would slap me if I said that. Well, when you're an adult, you don't get to solve everything by hitting people. And so at that point in my life, I had no longer succumbed to that. And so the point being, you have to at some point stand up and say, no, this is who I am. This is who I want to be. And you have to. At some point, you have to stand up and you have to do that, even to experience why it's wrong, if it is. You have to go through the experience. You have to do the thing. You have to become the person to decide whether or not it was worth it. And so that's what I said. Again, I'm not super proud of that because I think I was very rude, but I told them that, and I want to tell you what happened. Well, over the next few years, I moved to Los Angeles. I became a music video director, and I tried and I made money, and COVID happened. And then it crashed and burned, and I built another thing, and it crashed and burned, and it built another thing, and it crashed and burned. So in a way, they were right. But 10 years later, business is great, making more money than I've ever made before, and they have acceptance. it was years ago, obviously they accepted me for who I am because I became undeniable by doing the thing I said I was going to do. And so I say all of this to say, at some point they will accept you because you'll give them no choice. Because when your reality of who you are is stronger than their belief, it will break at some point. They're just going to go through, some transitional periods. And that's not your problem, that's theirs. They will accept you, and life will be so much better when you get to be the person who you want to be and exist with them. And that relationship will be better than any fake relationship trying to pretend that you are how they are, that you are like them, will ever be. And I tell you this from experience. I had no relationship with my parents my entire life. Like, to be completely honest, like ever since I was a kid, religion just kind of tore us apart. And I have a really good relationship with them now. Even though I'm not a religious person, they are still really religious. I'm doing not what they said they wanted me to do. And it's all good. Everything's good. And so I say this, if you are being held back by maybe family members or friends as well. I mean, friends should be easier. But if you can deny the biggest authority figure in your life, you can do anything, I promise you. So, thoughts for the day. Let me know if you have anything similar going on in your life.